Plant trapping 101.
Hey y'all, today on Plant Trapping we're going to be repotting these plants. I'm going to show you how to repot this snake plant in real time. Everything else we're going to do time lapse because it takes forever. I'm going to show you the snake plant because I'm actually going to turn it into 3 separate plants as well as show you how to propagate it. So I have the prep time lapse, but I am going to explain it before I insert the time lapse. So the first thing you want to do is you want to water your plants and you want to let them sit for an hour because you're going to want to make sure that root can separate from the soil easily. Part of the purpose of repotting is to give your plants fresh soil so it can get fresh nutrients because it does lose its nutrients over time, and you just want to give it more nutrients so it can thrive. Second part of repotting would be because your plant has outgrown its home. So like this one is in a little pot, I'm gonna move it to this bigger pot, but you do need to make sure you clean it if it's not a brand new pot because you wanna get any pests, mold, or disease that can be in the pot out of it. You just wanna make sure it's fresh and clean, kind of like your house. You wanna make sure your plants have something fresh and clean to live in, especially if you want it to grow bigger and healthier. Okay.
Manifested, I selected going hard on. Paint sweating, I collected in our own zone. Far gone, fell in love, didn't change my heart stone. I was rock bottom, solid, played it smart though. Manifested, I selected going hard on. Paint sweated, I collected in our own zone. Far gone, fell in love, didn't change my heart.
Alright, so we're gonna get these guys out the way because like I said, we're going to repot the snake plant first, and we want to have space because I'm a mess maker. That's why I have this potting soil and this, which I'm gonna get into that right now. The soil and why you use potting soil. So you always wanna make sure you use a potting soil. You don't wanna use soil from outside or your garden. Same reason why you clean your pot. You want to prevent any type of pest or disease getting into your plant that can be in the other soils. So you want to use something specifically for potting. So you're putting a plant in a pot, use potting soil. Okay? Good way to memorize that. If that's too big, I'm going to use this because like I said, I make messes and I'll still find a way to make a mess. So we're going to get our pot here. So I'm going to pull this on. I'm going to turn this into 3 plants, so you want to see if I can do this without completely destroying it. I'm going to put this here and this here. So what you're going to do is you're going to try to separate the roots without breaking them, and you're going to look for like the bulbous root. So before we do that, I'm moving a bit backwards here. You want to get soil already in the bottom of this pot so it has fresh soil for those roots to grow in. So we're going to take some of this, and I should have moistened this a little bit so it's wet, but I will pour some water in it before I put our new snake plant in it. As you can see, we've got a little water here, Coach, or soil here. Coach, do you think you could kick me that water? I forgot to put it over here. You can just reach for it. Thank you. All right, so we're just gonna dampen it up a little bit. Make sure it's moist. Okay, now this part. So let's see if I can do it this way. I don't know. I didn't think this through. So here's this one. It's already You want to try to keep your roots together. And there you go. So you want to try to shake off any of the old soil. All right, so here's one. We're going to put it in this soil, and then we're going to take this and fill it up. So there you have one snake plant. Well, you've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4 separate. You could do them individually and let them grow that way. So here's one. Right? And we're going to just continue to do the same thing with all of these. Just want to be kind of gentle. You might tear some of the roots like I did on that one. The goal is not to, but it's kind of gentle. See, it still has the roots. Here. And the bulb is attached. It's just under this soil here. So we're gonna do the same thing. Here's my pots. This one. Dampen it up a little bit. Then the hole for this. In snake plants, you don't need to water them often. This is a plant that you can go like a month without watering it and it'll still survive. I'm not suggesting that, but overwatering them will kill them. So with this plant, it's one of the plants that's better to underwater than overwater. So I'm not putting a lot of water in here. I'm just giving it enough water to get moist for the roots to be able to thrive in this soil. All right, and here is your second one. So I think I'm just gonna do 2 potted ones out of this, and then I'm gonna propagate this one.
Manifested, I selected going hard.